The sea is a dark and vast mystery. Despite the ocean covering over 70% of the Earth's surface, 90% of it exists in perpetual darkness, and only 5% of it has ever been explored. At a depth of 1 meter, a mere 45% of light permeates through. At 10 meters, 16%. Only 1% of light remains at 100 meters. And when you go beyond 1,000 meters in depth, nothing remains. All is darkness. But where light cannot go, something else can. Sound. Toothed whales, like dolphins, beluga, and sperm whales, use their biological sonar systems to navigate and locate food underwater by emitting high-frequency sound pulses. Over the course of millions of years, they've evolved brains and specialized organs which allow them to see sound the way we see light. Sonar allows a whale to gain a three-dimensional perspective of their environment and detect minute objects from great distances, even discern their shape and composition. What if we had the same ability? Could we see an iceberg in the middle of the night? After the Titanic disaster in 1912, people began asking this question, and the first patents for sonar were filed. After this event, a new use for sonar emerged: submarine warfare. Across both world wars, sonar technology became essential to both the operation and the detection of submarines in an otherwise dark and unknowable environment. Keep your submarines hidden and gain a strategic advantage. Find enemy submarines and neutralize their advantage. Sonar's increasing importance in this high-stakes dance caused the technology to grow in sophistication, branching into two distinctive types: active and passive sonar. Active sonar emits a pulse of sound into the water and analyzes the returning echoes to detect and locate hidden objects. Passive sonar systems wait patiently, silently monitoring underwater sounds from objects in the vicinity, allowing for the detection and tracking of vessels and other marine activity. Sonar technology today can be found in places like the hulls of ships, seabed systems, or in towed arrays. Wherever they are, they're collecting valuable streams of data, ready for the human operators to interpret. And this is where things get challenging. The first problem is environmental complexity. When high-quality, three-dimensional data gets flattened into 2 dimensions and displayed on a screen, it's difficult to know one thing from the other. Two objects that are actually quite different may look the same. Sometimes there isn't enough information to tell them apart, but more information isn't always the solution. And this is the second problem: cognitive load. The environments in which humans interpret sonar data are stressful, high stakes, and complex. When you add huge volumes of differing types of data into that mix, our cognitive load increases, and our ability to make decisions gets worse. And while all this is happening, we face the third problem: evolving threats. The sounds of the objects that we want to identify are not static. They're not as predictable as we want them to be. A whale knows what a shark sounds like. The shark's sound never changes, but the sounds of man-made objects are rapidly changing, morphing year after year. And while the rest of the ocean is getting louder and louder with myriad mechanical objects, the ones that really matter are getting quieter and quieter and quieter. Some now radiate so little noise that it's almost impossible to hear them. But AI can. What if humans could use AI for sonar processing to help them reduce environmental complexity, manage cognitive load, and stay ahead of evolving threats? What if we could use sonar as intuitively and effectively as the animals that have been using it for millions of years? We will, and Foundry will be the company that brings it to you.
Foundry, UK sovereign AI, designed for deployment.